conference tournaments back in action now. All Power 6 in action today. Today is Wednesday, March 6th. Welcome to Hardwood Hoops. I got a big show planned for you. It's going to be a short show. But first, before I get to that, our main topic today, let's jump into NBA headlines. Paul Gasol became the 12th Laker player to have his jersey retired, and they put it right next to LeBron, his own teammate, literally right next to LeBron. What an amazing compliment. I really haven't seen much of him play. I have seen a lot of Kobe. I really haven't seen much of Gasol, but I do know I've seen some highlights from him. And he looks like a really good player. Congratulations to him. Alright, let's now check at the NBA standings. Who's at the very bottom and still has a chance? The Utah Jazz. The Trailblazers and the Oklahoma City Thunder are all just out. Still has a chance. There's still time left to make the playoffs. Who still has to keep an eye on those three teams? The Pelicans and the Lakers. Basically, those, if you compare it to college basketball, here are your bubble teams for you. But not really. Yeah, Lakers. Yeah, the Lakers make a big jump this week. They are in, and surprisingly, had you noticed that now that LeBron's injured and he's out, the Lakers tend to do better, and they are in a better chance of making the playoffs in the West? Interesting. In the East, the Pacers and the Bulls are just out. Still has a chance. The Wizards are in. The Raptors are in. And the Hawks are in. There, take a look at your East, or your Middle East standings of who has a chance, still has a chance at the playoffs. As you can see, most of them have the same record, but you notice that the two teams that are just out are about 2 games behind the Wizards. Yeah, and well, if you look at that, their losing record is way behind the Wizards' losing side. So, yeah, they got some work to do in the East. Let's take a look at the AP ranking. I didn't release one this week, but the AP's got a good one. Missouri's 25, Creighton is 24, Kentucky's 23, TCU is 22, and Duke is 21. You can see it as a slide in a minute, which teams are on. Oh, wow. TCU, Kentucky, no change this week. Duke, Creighton, and Missouri are in this week. I can see Duke. I can see Missouri. Why Creighton? How are they back in? 1 win, they're back in. Why? They're going to lose the first round in the Big East. Watch. Alright. San Diego State is 20. Indiana is 19. A&M is 18. Tennessee is 17. St. Mary is 16. Wow. And I think, Tennessee, Indiana, and San Diego State all all fell this week. A&M, team I was looking forward to, he had a disappointing loss last week, but they're bounced back. St. Mary, they did lose. It didn't count, but they did lose to Gonzaga yesterday, but they're looking to bounce back up. Xavier is 15. Number 14 is Miami. 13, Virginia. Number 12 is Kansas State. And number 11 is UConn. See right here, it slides back in. Why is it so slow today? UConn, Miami, Xavier all went up a couple spots. Kansas State just fell down one. Not much. Really, if you fall down one or up one, I'll call it not much of a change. Virginia didn't change at all. So nothing too crazy. 15 through 11. Baylor is at 10. Gonzaga is 9. Arizona is still in top 10 at 8. Texas is at 7. And Marquette is at 6. Marquette's so close to entering the top 5. It's been a while since I've seen a Big East team in the top 5. But they're right on the edge. Texas is very close to getting back in. Baylor falling a couple. Arizona staying put. Gonzaga just hanging in there. Yeah, we're all at the part of the season where we really need a big upset. Even a big upset, and it won't change. We're that far into the college basketball season. Purdue is 5. Alabama is 4. Kansas is 3. UCLA is 4 and Houston is 1. Oh, we compared that to my rankings last week. This looks very similar. It's nice that this is why I stopped doing my ranking to do an AP ranking now, because the AP finally agrees with me, so there's no point in me doing my rankings when they agree with me. Providence, Maryland, and Pitt fell out. A&M the biggest jump up. Indiana the biggest fall down. That's a recap of AAP rankings. And the episode alert is next, but before I get into that, I want to say, this is going to be a really short show. I'll get to that later. I'll talk about that later on in the season, why it's so short. But in the meantime, let's get to my favorite part of the show. Alright, Texas A&M, I called it. Yeah, they had a disappointing loss last week, but they bounced back against a really good Alabama team. A team that I really think that I really don't like. Alabama is like the most hated team right now for reasons you all know about that I'm tired of talking about, but thank you A&M. Texas pulling off a big upset at home against Kansas. Yeah, Kansas once again another top 10 loss. It seems like whenever Kansas loses, it's to a top 10 Big 12 team. And yet they're still the highest Big 12 team ranked. Doesn't make sense for me. Iowa State pulls up a big upset on the road against Baylor. Yeah, that's winning close. 73-58 on the road. So I guess Kansas and Texas are now the best teams in the Big 12 now. Takes Baylor out of that picture, like I originally thought. West Virginia getting a big... why are all the lower Big 12 schools getting... the bottom of the Big 12 getting big wins late in the season now? It's too late now. You can't make the dance. Anyway, yeah, they get a big win over Kansas State. The SEC we go. Finally, not a Big 12 update. Auburn by 9 points over Tennessee at home. What a big win for Auburn. And just when I was given a chance for these lower SEC teams to finally take, Alabama out, didn't happen. Come on, Tennessee. I know you can do that on the road. Seton Hall gets a big win over Providence, taking Providence out of the rankings. Big upset too, 82-58. Is that correct? That put up 58 points as well. Dang. All right, TCU lost on the road. Oklahoma making a little comeback and trying to get out of the bottom of the Big 12. There is no bottom of the Big 12, is there? No, there is not. 74-60 over a powerful TCU team this year. That's saying something. Maryland getting upset by 1 point. It was a close, good game. Penn State getting the... Alright, Penn State getting the good win. Big upset over Maryland. I got one more upset for you. And I think it happened Monday in the WAC conference. The championship game, Gonzaga, they're a 2 seed. Surprised, I am. I didn't even know they were a 2 seed. But look at that final score, 77-51. I called it. If you watched Bracket Bubble yesterday, you know that I would call it. They would get the win. I was back and forth, but I had a good feeling Gonzaga was going to pull off that win over St. Mary. So I am undefeated in that St. Mary and Gonzaga series this year. All right, overrated and underrated time. Here we go. Yep. Underrated, Texas A&M. I think this is the second time I've had this on here. I'm not sure. I should look back, and I know I usually keep track of the record, but I ain't really had time because I'm really trying to get Bracket Bubble done. Oh, yeah, by the way, yeah, I'll talk about that later. Yeah, who's my overrated team right now? Oh, Alabama. Yeah, is this the first time I've had, like, my overrated and underrated where, like, the two teams I talk about just played each other? Yeah, it is. That tells you how underrated A&M is and overrated Alabama is. It seems like whenever Alabama plays a ranked team, they lose. On the road. I'm sorry. Whenever Alabama plays a ranked team on the road, they tend to lose. And they don't fall. They just don't tend to fall that much. They felt their force. A&M, big win at home. They only went up a couple spots. I just don't get it. But what also went up a couple of spots, Utah State, Rutgers, Nevada are one of the last 4 teams in right now. Mississippi State still in. They got that highest spot right now on the bubble according to ESPN. And again, the show is pre-recorded, so Mississippi State and Rutgers were in action today. I do not know how they played because again, pre-recorded, or actually they might be playing right now. Actually, and Oklahoma State, Wisconsin, Arizona State, and North Carolina are the last 4 teams out right now. They're making their last. They're all in action. Well, North Carolina is playing tomorrow, but the other 3 are in action today. And we'll see if they make a last push for the dance. We'll find out tomorrow. Let's check out some headlines. The Ivy League is being sued over athletic players about its no scholarship policy. The Ivy League is the only Division I conference that doesn't allow athletic scholarships. Ivy League. You know, the Provincial. It makes sense. They're all about, smart schools. It makes sense. They're not about sports. Anyway, enough about that. Oral Roberts finished the stomach leaf perfect. They do have a couple losses, but those are out of conferences. So Oral Roberts wins their conference and goes into the ditch undefeated in their conference. Alright, let's check out what's going around the network here on Busy Sports Sleeport Podcast. Every Monday at 6 o'clock. Got a good one Monday. And also, it's going to be replacing American Game Day this coming Saturday because I'll take a spring break off. Down in distance. Every Tuesday, football comes back around. And then Hardwood Hoop, this show, will be every Wednesday. Hot Seat. First Monday of every month, you know that. American Game Day. I'm taking next Saturday off. We'll be here this Saturday, but taking the next Saturday off. And then if you haven't already, check out our website for the latest news, scores, stats, etc. That's always going around the network here on Busy Sports. Alright, and now time to make some... Oh, that's not a pick. That's another advertisement, I guess, to promote another show. Okay, so... it's a little different now with all of the conference games, and most of them are during the day and have concluded. Some are actually going on right now as I speak and as you're watching this. So be sure to check out Bracket Bubble every day this week at 1:30, getting you the whole complete coverage of all the games. So... And I'll make my predictions, so, I know this is the time where I normally make my pick, but if you want to see me make my picks, go watch that show from earlier today from Bracket Bubble. It's a good one, and I'll explain all the games, and maybe I probably should have added some NBA games, but I've been so busy working on that show that I really hadn't time to get into the NBA games this week. Anyway, I'll see you March 22nd. I'm taking the next week off. Thanks for watching Hardwood Hoops. I'll see you next time.